it's Tuesday, and you know what that means. It's time for
Tuesday Talks.
Well, it's Tuesday, and it's exciting to be back here on Tuesday Talks. Thank you for joining us. Today we have a special episode where we take a look back in the past a couple weeks ago when our church took a group of kids to Mammoth Caves and spent a few days down there talking about God and creation and camping together and exploring caves and hiking and doing a whole bunch of fun stuff. So we bring on the show Dave Heidkamp, and we just talk about all the fun that we had. So let's dive into the episode. So tell me about C3, what your idea was behind the weekend.
So C3 initially started as an idea to get kids outside. They spend so much time on technology, so much time glued to things that aren't relational, and it's been really, talking with Josh over the last year and a half, 2 years, at doing some kind of ministry where, we got the kids outside. We had them, put them in a position where they could experience creation. They could see, the awesome things that God's created, and hopefully allow that to draw them closer to Him. And so that was the initial thought of it.
So what was the idea behind the age group that we took?
So the age group came from a partnership that we have with Liberty Missionary Baptist Church. They have a group of kids that they wanted to be able to attend camp together, and ranging from 8 to like 13, it was kind of hard for them to find a camp that fit their need. And we did some looking, and I talked with Josh, and so what if we do our own camp and just kind of put some together, maybe a little smaller, but just kind of get our feet wet in camp stuff.
And the lessons that we had 3 lessons, all tied around this idea of creation. Can you talk a little bit about what you were driving home?
An opportunity to see that God exists through creation. In the heavens, He has pitched a tent for the sun, which is like a bridegroom. It rises at one end of the heavens and it makes its circuit to the other. Nothing is hidden from
So initially, the first lesson was, which I was glad we went with that first lesson. I was a little hesitant, but it worked out. Some of the kids had expressed that they were not familiar with the creation story. And so that's where we started. We just started in Genesis 1:1, and we read through creation. We looked at all the the different days of what was created when, and acknowledged that God thought it was good. And so that was the first lesson. That was day 1, and it was good.
It was good.
So that was the first point we wanted to drive home. God made this stuff, and it was good. And then from there, we transitioned to the fact that God made us. And He made us, and He made us a little lower than the angels, but He crowned us with glory and honor. And so as He created all of creation, all the different things, and said it was good each time, He made us, and as everything is identified as being good, in God's own words, He created us, and He placed a higher level of honor on us than He did everything else He created. And I thought that was a valuable lesson to drive home with the kids.
Yeah.
And ultimately, we were looking at how much creation is just declares the glory of God, and it proclaims His handiwork. So we were looking at everything that was so, whether we were birds or just snails. We saw a ton of snails, just different things that He's created. And we had some beautiful stars the first night, some awesome lightning, and just seeing how just magnificent so much of it is. And we talked about how Psalm says day by day, night after night, the sky and or declaring the glory of God, proclaiming, His handiwork, and it, it's out there for us to see.
Right.
So, wanting the kids to be able to get that, just, be able to see different, things, whether it's, the green grass or the beautiful sky or stars or whatever, it's something to resonate with them that, God did create all this. We're not here alone.
He created more than just technology.
Yeah. See.
So we did some swimming, we did some hiking, we did some lesson time, we did eating, we went into Mammoth Cave, we went to the cave center and walked around, we had a lot of time fellowshipping with one another and conversations with one another. What was your favorite part over the 3 days?
See, what would make someone think, hey, I just want to keep going through this?
This is my favorite thing.
This is your favorite? Well, cool.
So what's everybody's favorite part been so far?
The pool.
The pool?
Sleeping in the pool. Sleeping in the pool.
I like the food.
It's actually fun to have kids.
We got to make friendship bracelets in our cabin. I don't know about you. But they look great.
What's mine?
Eating. Food's always my favorite part. God created all those tasty treats. I think just having the conversations,
Yeah.
and when kids would ask or respond to something, and it would a thought, about God would expand. That was pretty cool for me, because that's what I definitely wanted to see happen. I wanted to see some kids, be able to, have their knowledge of God increase. That was pretty cool. The caves are awesome. Swimming's always fun.
Yeah. It was a good time.
That was my favorite. So what's your favorite, Seth? Other than spending time with me?
I think that my favorite time was that second night when we were in the boys' cabin. There was a lot of conversation, a lot of really deep thoughts being brought out from elementary, middle school age boys.
Yeah.
Just to see their thought process and the questions they were asking and where their mind was going from the weekend was just really cool. That meant a lot to be a part of that lesson.
That was really cool. And what was cool about that too is it wasn't how it was designed. I wanted all 24 of us to be together, but God in the rain he had a different plan.
Pouring.
And it was good.
It's pouring rain, so we split up the boys and girls cabin. You did a lesson down in the girls cabin.
And the girls' lesson was equally as thought-provoking.
That's awesome, yeah. And then I joined you for the boys. So that was a really cool time.
Yeah,
it was cool how God worked the weekend out. Well, C3 Camps was awesome this year as a test run, and we definitely will be doing it again next year, as both vans, both your van and my van, were asking on the way back, when are we going to do it again? So we'll be definitely doing it again next year. Just keep your eyes open for the win. It'll probably be on our website, goffc.org. If you have any further questions or want further information on C3 Camps, please contact us. But for now, you heard it here. Actually, I'm being out here, we haven't had a single plane fly over, so I'm pretty amazed by that. Do you know what the saying is?
No.
Well, it's Tuesday, and you know what that means? It's time for
Tuesday Talk.
Tuesday Talks.
Tuesday Talks. Hooray.
That's take one. That's already done.
Very good. One question and I'm out. That's all my agents that I had to do. Do you want me to look at you or do you want me to look at
You look at me.
Okay. All right.
Because that's picking you up in a way.
So do you want to ask me again?
No.